Why, hello, everyone. This is Jennifer Sanchez.
And Delilah.
You are watching, I think today is a combination, right? We're
Yeah.
doing a Wise Coffee Chat slash
Cocina
Cosina
Conversations.
conversations today, right? We're doing a little different today.
Yes.
But we're super excited to be here. For those that are watching, whether you're watching live with us or you're watching the replay, we thank you for being here with us. We're super excited. Where we're at? Where
Yeah.
are we
We
at?
are at Cafe El Maison. One of just a pillar to me. This coffee shop has been here for 15 plus years. In
Wow.
the community off of 47th and Kedzie, the best coco latte out there.
I,
If you've never had the coco latte, their coco latte is the best.
and they're a big staple in the community.
Yeah, huge.
Big staple. There's people here
Yes.
eating, hanging out.
Yeah, and it's a Monday
It's a Monday
at
and
11 o'clock.
at 11, and there's people up in here,
Yes,
so that's a good sign,
that
right?
is.
And then I have el café maison latte.
Yeah, it's a nice drink.
Yeah, it's smooth.
Smooth.
It's smooth, and I think what I really like about it is they put the cayenne,
To help burn off
the,
some.
some metabolism burner, you know. So that's what we have.
Yes.
That's what we're doing this morning. So we're here supporting this business.
Yes.
I couldn't find no guests for today. It was difficult to find a
Rough.
guest today. It's because of the Easter holiday
Everything.
weekend. People are still flying in.
But I think this is cool though.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
this is awesome because then you're able to see who we are
Yeah,
outside in the cafe
in the
place.
cafe place.
In a
And we
small business. We usually have a guest, but
with
today
you. And yeah, it's just
will
us
you
two.
be our guest?
You're our guest, and exactly. And we get
Get
to
good
support a business.
Yeah,
And
it's
it
phenomenal.
it's great. So I was like, I don't mind doing this show and going to different
Right.
venues and just highlighting the restaurant, just
Yeah. Yeah.
chopping it up.
Yeah. Like
You
we
know,
do.
like we usually do. So
Yes.
if you guys are watching, let us know
Tell us what you're drinking.
what you're drinking. It's our coffee time special.
Yes.
But you
Yes.
know what? My manners. How we didn't introduce ourselves. Go
Go
for
ahead. You
it.
give your spiel. You got a whole.
So if you are watching this show, I'm Jennifer Sanchez.
Yes.
I am the founder of the Wise Alliance Network, as well as it all came out of the Women's Institute of Self-Development Efficacy. I know that's super long, so call it Wise for short.
Yes.
So essentially, I like to put together events for just women, and then co-ed events, networking, masterminds, conferences, retreats.
That's awesome.
Did you know I'm going on my ninth retreat?
Ninth.
Ninth.
Already?
This year's my ninth.
That's
retreat.
impressive.
That's crazy.
Part of me wants to do one.
Good
It's
luck.
a lot of
It's a lot of work, though.
It's a lot of work.
I tell myself, I think I like the trauma. I'm not just joking, because it could be a
But
little
you're putting it together.
traumatizing putting it together.
And then here you go another year.
Another year, and then I'll be like, why do I do this? And then there we go.
Yeah.
Here's another one, and another
Where's
one,
it going to be
like
at this
DJ
year?
Khaled. Another one. This year we're looking at Antioch, Illinois. Antioch, where you went? Antioch, last time.
Okay, the same location.
That same location.
That was let me tell you, that was a beautiful location. It was a mission to get there because
It was
my
a
brakes
mission.
went out
That they
in the
did.
van. Yeah, before
don't
that
remember
same
that.
day. Yeah, we won't talk about that. But
Well, no, I want to hear this. Hold on.
No,
So
no,
let me
no.
finish my intro. So I'm also a real estate investor.
Yes, you
So
are.
if anyone's looking to sell their property, reach out
Mhm.
to me. I could buy cash, 30 days or
Look
less,
at that.
no fees.
Mhm.
And the nice thing about working with a wholesaler is sometimes it's quicker because and you don't gotta fix things
And
and
you get
put it
rid
on
of
the
the
market.
middleman, don't
Get
you?
rid of the middleman, so just
Yeah.
deal with the investor directly. So that's why and then I'm a mom of three beautiful girls, 17, 11 now. My
Yes,
11-year-old
Sophie, right?
Sophie, my little
Yes,
wise
she's
child.
so cute. She's
Yeah.
your mini me.
She definitely is. Her
Her mini-me.
personality, though, I'd be like, whoa, is that me?
Do you
Because
double take when
she-
you look at her and she says I'm a little crazy?
I'd be like, you really said that right now. And then my little one, my 5-year-old. So that's who
Oh.
I am. I'll pass it over to Delilah.
My name is Delilah, and I am the founder of the Rock Exchange resale boutique on the south side of Chicago. We actually have our prom dress giveaway happening on Sunday
Woohoo.
at 3551 South Archer Avenue. We're partnering up with a beautiful project. We thank you, Clarabelle and team. We love them.
Beautiful.
Yes, so from 2 to 6, we're going to be having our prom dress giveaway. And last year we gave away 80 prom dresses. Our goal is to hit that, supersede that this year. So if you
Yeah.
know of any young women in the community, or if you want to donate prom dresses, our store and two other locations are it's on my page, are places where you can drop off the prom dresses. And we're open from Tuesday to Saturday.
Yeah.
And I'm also the founder of PG31. Our
Woohoo.
girls are in an art class right now. Super excited. Every Saturday they're in an art
You guys
class.
do great things for those young
Yeah, they
ladies.
are phenomenal. And our fashion show for PG31 is going to be August 30th. So put that in your calendars. If you don't know, this location is going to be greater than last location.
Oh, which location is it gonna be?
It's going to be at an art museum.
Oh,
In our gallery, I mean. In our gallery, not
wow,
museum.
mira.
In our gallery this year. So put that on your calendars. Flyers going to be coming out soon. We're
That's
partnering
super.
up with Casillos de Jesus, just so you know. And it's going to be on August 30th.
Very nice.
And yeah, that's
That's
and I'm a
so
full
cool.
time mentor with the Rise and Gem. So yeah,
Nice.
love that.
And I love that. Oh, and
Yeah.
I forgot to say I'm a full now I'm a part-time instructor
Instructor,
at
a
the
whole teacher. Look at that.
I'm a whole
A
teacher
whole
now.
teacher now.
You said I'm a whole teacher. Yeah, so I'm an instructor at Illinois Media School, which was formerly
Wow.
known as Centers for
Oh, that's
Broadcasting,
amazing.
Illinois Centers for
Yeah.
Broadcasting, and I get to teach digital media,
Look at
which is
that.
so much fun. I talk about business all day, right? How to
Yes.
put yourself out there,
Yeah.
branding, the way your social media should portray yourself.
Mm.
I'm just like, this don't feel like work. It's fun.
Especially when you love what you do.
Yeah,
When you
so
love what
I
you do.
love it. And then, play with cameras all day with
Look at that.
students, so
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing. So that's another thing I could share with the viewers.
Wow.
I do have Liza. We have Liza. She
What is she
put
drinking?
she put good morning,
Good morning,
ladies. Good
Liza.
morning. Oh, we have Maria Elena, my girl. Good morning, beautiful women.
Les, God bless you. God bless
God
you.
bless you. And then of course we got our guy right here,
Los.
Los
Hey.
LOS Flav. Let's
Yes.
go. Actually, he finally got me on the show.
Finally.
Finally,
You've
bro.
earned your badge.
Did I finally get access to the show,
Look
Flav?
get out of here.
I hope
Oh, if he ever put us both on there, that we would never get through that
we'll
show.
never get through
Never
that
get through
show.
that show.
Yeah, Flav, I'm
They don't
excited.
know.
I'm excited. He's gonna interview me on Sunday, on the
Look at that.
27th, actually.
Oh,
So
what time?
I think it's at 4 p.m. I might be wrong, but I know I'll be on his
Ah.
show. But I'm super excited for that. So thank you for
Yeah.
the opportunity,
Look at
Flav.
that, Lois.
I'll
It's
make
fun.
I'll make sure I he's put LOL. I will make sure I bring some entertainment
Yes.
to make it very
I
exciting.
might be a surprise. Well, no, I can't. This is a prom dress.
This is
I
a
would be a
prom
surprise
dress.
guest.
Yeah, prom
I have
dress
the prom
drive.
dress giveaway. If y'all are still there after 6, I might swing by.
Maybe. Well, and another thing, after the show, I am launching my coaching program
Oh,
on the
that's
27th at
right.
8 p.m.
The
It's
new
virtual.
cohort.
It's virtual.
Now,
My new
is there
cohort.
space left?
There is space
Let's
left.
talk about that.
So for sure, anyone that's looking for coaching,
Okay.
specifically women, I have a
Yes.
12-week coaching program where we go through every week a module
Yes.
on the foundation of just managing life better, right? But it gets real specific because it gets into the healing, it gets into business, personal development, right? Personal and business development, and then accountability every week towards the goals.
And you know what? I've seen women that went through that program, and the transformation is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's women. I mean, Liza's on here. She's one who can attest. I remember before she even finished school, once she went through your program, she kept mentioning her coach, and I always been leery about coaches. And she would always, and then I finally met you at the Royal Discovery within your closet when you came to our the Royal Discovery. Actually, here at El Mason, that's when the first time I met
The first,
you.
if
You
the
had
face-
Kool-Aid red
face-to-face.
hair.
I did have
She had
Kool-Aid red hair. I did.
And then that's how we met.
Oh, might have put the best program.
Look at that. So
Yes.
if there's other women attesting to this, you can see for yourself. But I've seen the transformation within women. And
Yeah.
you work on their internal, their structure, and I work on the external,
Exactly.
styling them
Exactly.
and
The
making them
outside,
with their confidence and things along
which
those
is like the
lines.
cherry on
It
top,
is.
right?
It
Because
is.
I think in anything, when it comes to us pursuing our goals, and I've said this in videos, if you're not right inside, it's hard to take care of the
That
outside,
is
or
so
even
true.
in business, because the way you carry yourself in business, the more confident you are,
Yeah.
the more opportunities come to you.
Yeah.
You
God
know.
will open those doors. God will open those doors.
Absolutely. So that is the coaching program.
Yes.
I'll share the
Starting on
link.
Sunday. Yep.
Yeah,
Share that
it's
link.
starting on Sunday. So we got a couple links we'll share, and then we'll go into our chat. So our topic today, what's our topic today? Because I wanted to talk about this. So because
You
you
okay,
brought it
okay.
up.
So I brought it up, but you wanted to talk about it
And
today
I
since
do
this
want to
is
talk about it,
impromptu.
but
So,
impromptu.
okay, impromptu. Um, well, it's okay. Let's share. Let's share. Okay, we're red flags versus things you'll that are tolerable in a relationship.
Right? Okay. So but I think no, you said you
Go ahead.
wanted to talk about what are the red flags? What are
What are
red
red
flags
flags
for you?
versus
And then what would you tolerate in a
so
relationship?
it's what are red flags versus what are things you'll tolerate within a relationship?
Yeah.
That's what that
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yep.
then you even added a little spin to it. You said what would you have not when you were younger you might
Yeah.
have tolerated certain
And
things.
as you get older,
As
you
you get older,
just
you're
you're
like
like,
These are just non-negotiables at this point. Right, and I think we're just
right.
doing the spin-off. So and if anyone wants to chime in and add
Chime
in,
in.
right, feel free, especially those that are married or in relationships, or even
Hmm.
if you're divorced, whatever,
Right.
so what are, Delilah,
Mm. Oh, I feel like I'm in the hot seat right
you're in the
now.
hot seat right now. What are some red flags right now for you when it comes to dating?
I'm not dating anyone out right now,
But
but
even and
I'm single, happily single. But I, I I can't wait to be happily in a relationship. So, but I read somebody who lies.
ooh,
That's a
liars.
huge a lot, especially in my face.
So if someone were to give you like a little white lie, like let's say like they don't want to hurt your feelings, and they're like,
Like what kind of white
okay,
lie?
okay, okay,
I'm
okay.
getting comfortable, y'all. I'm like,
But
like what kind of white lie?
like they don't want to make you feel bad. Like let's say you
Like
got an
if
outfit on,
okay,
okay, let's say you got an outfit on, and he really thinks you look a little overweight, but he's
mhm.
like, no, you look good, sweetheart. But
And he doesn't tell me about my low holes in the back or
yeah,
something like
yeah.
that.
So
Put on
would that be
the
like
tighter
considered a
faja.
lie, or would you like
No, that's okay.
that's okay?
That's okay. As long as he knows that I look good in that.
Okay.
That if it's an outfit that he really likes me in, I
Okay.
would rock that.
But Maria, I remember Maria last time. Y'all two were ganging up on me. Not
Go ahead,
just like
Maria.
she will agree. No liars allowed.
That's right.
We
Yeah,
love it. We
yeah.
love it. Okay. So red. So here I'll share a. You know what's a red flag for
Talk.
me?
Because you
I
and
would.
Clara Bell were talking about dirty shoes and stuff like that. I'm like, what?
Well,
That was the first time I heard.
I got like some real dumb nuances.
Oh my god,
like
I'm nervous.
I'm just so I'm just so picky at this point. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm not even gonna lie. I think
Is this the narrowest gate type thing?
I
The
don't.
road is wide,
Okay,
but the gate is narrow type
okay.
situation.
If you do like really like loud chewing, if you do not know how to eat at a dinner table, look, I'm not gonna lie to you. I went out with this one guy, and
Sorry, y'all.
his dinner table manners were so improper.
I needed this laugh. I had a long weekend.
I could
This laugh
not.
is
I
needed.
could not like not look at what was happening and get upset. Like
What,
so
did you
so.
like get up and say you? Did you cut the day short? What
No,
did you
no.
do?
I was just looking like this mug. So he was sitting down.
Hmm.
You know how you when you sit in a booth,
Yeah.
he sat diagonal. Like he sat like on that corner and his legs were facing that
With
way.
his legs, like he
Yeah.
was like he propped his legs on the thing. No, he
Yeah,
didn't.
he was facing that way, and I was like, "What you doing?" I was
He put his
sitting
wait. Hold on, hold on. Let me
there.
get this
That's
right.
what.
So he was Who did you?
And I
Wait,
was,
wait. So he sat there. He put his legs on the
you know,
bench.
like when you're sitting in a booth and you sit
Yeah.
in that corner, he faced his body that way. So like
He
first,
wasn't even looking at you.
yeah, like he was looking at me, but he was still like looking that way, and I was like, that was so odd. And I'm looking like, okay, that was one thing, but
Was he
then
a public speaker? Because you know how they say public speakers like they have you like look at something,
I
a
wish
focal point.
I don't know. I was just
Okay.
like, bro, this is really irritating me. And then like
Irritating. Okay.
loud chewing. Maybe it's because I'm like a psychopath, but like I cannot
Are you?
stand like if I hear those noises,
Yeah.
like I start getting really irritated.
Okay.
And I don't want to talk to you no more. So and then or let's say like you talk and you say like a lot. Like and you're a grown man and you saying like a lot, I have a problem.
So okay. I'm so being repetitive. So okay. So I there's
I
something
knew
like
that. I
that
knew
I
people were gonna be.
do.
I'm pretty sure people are like, "You a hot mess, Jennifer."
So,
It's all right.
so there was someone I was talking, a friend of mine. We were talking on the phone, and they kept saying, "You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?" And I said, "Yes, I know what you mean." Like,
Yes, I
but
get what you're saying.
yeah, I get it because what I shared with them is that it's a form. It's almost like a sign of like you're
Low and
insulting my intelligence. Like,
oh,
like they do you understand or do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? But repet, but that was their tick.
mm, oh, because people do have ticks. I guess
Like
it's
then maybe not a tick, but that's their habit. I
their
guess you can
habit. Yeah,
say.
I mean, I get that there's habits like like I
Yeah,
understand
I
people
mean,
something,
yeah,
but like for me, like I think when you conversate, I could like you can tell when someone's really intelligent when they can hold a conversation and use big words.
right.
That tells you like they read,
Okay,
right? They're polished.
yeah.
But and at the end of the
Not
day,
even big words. To me, the big
yeah,
words. So big words impress you,
sometimes I mean
because you
like
know I've met people who use big words, and I'm like,
did you
I don't
use
know.
that correctly? I did. I do say that.
I'm on my phone, like, hold on 1 second. What do you know what to do?
Well, like I remember one time someone said lazadasico to me, and I was like lazadasico, and I kind of
It
had
doesn't,
to go,
isn't it let?
like it
Yeah,
like it makes you like lethargic or
yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. And I kind of figured what that meant, but I was like, oh, what does this mean? So I had to like
But
Google it.
what it did was it just it somebody it created your sparked your curiosity.
Yeah, yeah, it sparked my curiosity. So Maria says right here, I am with you, Jennifer. No table manners is a turnoff. It very much. You know why it's a turnoff for me? You know
Okay.
what? Okay, I'm good because my dad was big on table manners with me.
Wow.
He was.
So he taught you young.
Yeah, he taught me young, like
Okay.
no comes así, right? Don't open your mouth.
Yeah.
He taught me how to use the
Oh,
utensils.
nice.
I remember like don't reach over people's food, no
Okay.
elbows on the table, right?
Wow.
Like certain things that you do when you eat dinner,
Yeah.
my dad was real big on.
So, and I think it's a cultural thing. My father, for when we were growing up, my father, it was conversating at the table, which it was a huge no for him.
Oh, he didn't like
No,
conversating on the table?
like when you're at the table, it's to eat. Yeah. So,
Really?
I mean, unless
I
it was
could
like
see
a
that being
family
cultural. I
gathering,
could see that.
unless it was a
Wait,
family
wait, wait,
gathering.
but
Like if it's just at the house, there's no playing at the table. You're at the table to eat.
that's interesting because I know culture you're half Palestinian.
Yes.
And I know when I went to a Palestinian home,
So
it
it
was a
was
lot of
at a
chit
family
chatting.
gathering.
It was, well, I guess we were guests. So yeah,
Yeah.
maybe it was a
So
family
if
gathering.
it's more of a family gathering,
Then it's acceptable to eat
yes,
and
you're talking, but you can't play at the table.
oh,
None
makes
of the
sense.
like you can't play at the table or
You're here
joke
to
around.
eat. Yeah.
It as a sign you don't play with your food either.
Hmm.
It's like a sign of respect,
I could see
and
that.
then and also you have to eat everything on the plate.
That's Mexicans too. Oh, I mean Latinos. I'm sure you got to eat everything that's on that plate. We worked hard
Yeah.
for that food, right?
Right. In
We worked
other
hard to
words,
put that there. I could see that. I
yeah.
guess one thing I know I was also big on was dinners were a big deal growing up
Hmm.
with me and my family.
Yeah.
Like right now maybe it's not because of the schedule and the way my lifestyle is,
Right.
right? It can't be the way I usually do it, but when I was married for 18 years, dinner was always served at 5 or 6
Oh, that's beautiful.
every single
Hmm.
time. The meal was out and we would have, and no one was on phones, and we would all be like
Yes.
eating and
Yes.
talking, and that would be our time of
Yeah.
fellowship,
Yeah.
right? And I was always like, it was funny because my ex-husband wasn't raised that way.
Okay, so you created that space for him,
Yeah, so he loved that
which
one,
is awesome.
which was
Yeah,
great for the family.
yeah,
But that was something my parents
yeah.
would do.
My mom, what she did was she created that for us. And when I get married one day, I would love to do the same thing. Is like have food at the table when he comes home. I don't know if I'm gonna have children, but let's say
Have
he
that
had,
hot meal for that
yeah,
husband waiting
you
for
know
him,
it.
you
I mean,
know?
yes. And so, and in addition to that, just create that safe space for him. And so that's just like a man likes a safe space, women do too.
Of course, of
I
course.
was watching a reel, and the reel said that if a woman feels safe in your presence,
Hmm.
spiritually, mentally, financially, she's going to create that place of peace for you.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't that
I agree.
true?
I
That's
agree.
so true.
I agree
So
because
true.
if you're not providing peace for her or making her feel safe,
Right. She
sh-
gets on that defense
she's always going to be
and that
defensive,
survival
argumentative,
mode.
survival mode,
Right.
masculine energy.
Right.
So if y'all brothers and men out there and y'all
Yeah.
ain't taking care of your wives and you're wondering why she's so hostile,
And put
yeah,
God first. I feel like when you put God first, everything else falls into place. I'm a huge believer of that.
I believe that. Yeah, yeah, I believe that.
Hard
That's
work and God, I mean, God and hard work, you're good.
But you know that statistically, Christian relationships are just as vulnerable to divorce as non-Christian. It's one out of
It's
four.
crazy.
One out of three
That number
non and
blows
one
my
out of
mind.
four
Yeah,
Christian.
that blows my mind.
So, but that just tells you how like it's hard being married.
Yeah, because you have two different dynamics.
Yeah,
What do we got here?
we got Kari, my girl. She also took the coaching program. She put my kids also pointed out how kids in Mexico eat silently, no
No talking.
talking. That's how I was raised
Wow.
too, which
See?
makes sense. And I
Hmm.
think I think maybe that's why some things for some people are like non-negotiables, right?
Right,
So
right.
like me, like that irritates my soul. Like I need to enjoy a meal. Quiet, like enjoy a meal, and that's one of my red flags. Let's bring
Yeah.
it back to like
Was I
the
needed this laugh
the
too,
red
Jen.
the
Let
red
me
flags. So for those that are here, I'm really curious. What are your red flags?
we got four viewers. We
We
got
got
some
some
people,
viewers
man,
jumping in and out. But
jumping in and out
what are your red flags when it comes to dating or marriage? Like these are like
and
my red
cheap,
flags. Cheap. Oh,
cheap.
okay. Tell me. Let's talk about this.
So I was raised. My brothers. I thank God for my father and my brothers because they set good examples before me as far as what to look for when you're dating. Because all my brothers, they're hardworking men. One of my brothers works like three jobs
Yeah.
just to provide for his family. Shout out to you, Samir. And even he's there for me too, and my brother Hamza. Like if I ever need something fixed or something, they're right there. Like this past Friday when they broke into my store.
Oh, we need to talk about
Yeah,
that.
we'll talk about that. But my brothers were right there, and a couple of my friends too to pray for me. But my brothers were right there. They came to the rescue, and I thank God for them. We may not always see eye to eye, but my brothers were my first examples, and my father. My father was working partially blind to provide for the family, and there was no excuse for him at all. So when I hear a guy is like, "Oh, it's different when you fall ill on something, right? And you can't provide. That's different.
Yeah.
But if you're not working just to not work,
Yeah.
that's a huge red flag.
Oh,
And
yeah.
going Dutch, we talked about this already in our past. We don't do going Dutch.
Yeah, going
Excuse me.
going Dutch means that we're just business partners.
In other words,
That's it.
that's it.
We just business is business,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But even honestly, I've gone to out with business partners that are men, and
Mhm. Oh
they
yeah,
still won't let me pay,
yeah,
because
yes,
they're like, no, like you're still a woman, like, and I'm like,
right,
okay, cool, like take care of it, right?
right, right.
But I could see with your situation the fact that you've always had males to be around you. You were raised with brothers. You had your father.
Hmm.
Like I could see why like you expect a man to come correct
Yes,
and fit those shoes,
right. And,
which
and they don't have to fit the entire shoe, right? Because you're never gonna have the same thing with everyone, but you can have standards. Those standards are super important, and that's one of those standards for me. And it doesn't have to be like a fancy restaurant or anything like that. We can go somewhere nice, like even a cafe, like Cafe and my son.
I love cafes.
Man, this cafe is the best
But you
cafe.
know, and I'm sure if the brothers that are watching, men know when women have like daddy issues, or
How
when
can they tell?
I don't know, but they've told me they know.
Really?
They that they could tell when a woman has
A
issues
father?
with their father.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if they could smell it. I don't
Right.
know if they could see it,
Yeah.
but I've been told like no, they could tell when a woman has like. But you had a strong masculine presence
My
in
father
growing
was
up.
a main because he's straight from Palestine. My father,
I gotta share these
he was
comments.
straight from. We're gonna get into him. My father was straight from Palestine, so his way of being present was providing.
And that makes sense,
Yeah, so he may have not been to like father daughter dances or to your games, but he was working hard to make sure he provided for the family,
which makes
and
sense.
that was his presence.
And,
But let's just dive
and
into
that's
these
respect. That's
comments.
respect. That's respectable, right? Okay, so we have right here. Red flag for me is when they speak poorly about their past partners.
Ooh, or their
Ooh,
children. That was a guy.
ooh,
I had a guy one time who called his kids the A word, like a holes.
the a holes.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, my sons are a holes and blah blah, and that was a red flag to me.
Really?
Yeah.
I say that all the time.
No. Oh my gosh, the mother of three beautiful children. That was your whole intro.
She
That
a
was
a
a red.
hole.
No, that was a red flag to me. Excuse my French, because I'm like, if they're talking about their kids
Oh, of course. I mean,
this
I do it in a
way,
funny way though, right?
no,
I
he
don't
was
do it.
serious. This
I
guy.
don't do it like seriously. Like oh
Yeah.
no no. I'm like it for me. It's more joking, but only if you know my personality,
Okay.
you would
Right.
know that, right?
Right.
But I could see like you'd be like, dang.
This was our first phone conversation. And I'm like, not so much. Because if you're talking about your kids like that, what you know, but
I saw a good video not too long ago that said if you want to find out like a good question to ask a
okay.
partner or like a suitor or
Mm-hmm.
whatever is ask them how did your last relationship end and what lessons did you learn from it, and by
Mm-hmm.
asking that without being nosy you kind of learn like you learn about them more
Okay.
about them and not really the partner. Just
Yeah.
wanted to put I thought that was a good one.
One thing I don't do, I don't care. I don't call my partner out their name in any of the relationships. I may have gotten them upset a little, but I don't call them out their name.
That's good.
Like as it, like my mother, and I don't play with hands. My mother always taught us don't ever play with hands,
That makes sense.
and because it can get physical,
Yeah, of course.
and like not to call people out their name. So no matter how mad I'm at them, I will not tell them like call them out their name.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
that's
So
good. That's good.
yeah.
That makes sense. If that with what you
Lowe said red flag. Let's see what Lowe said.
red flag for Los, a very loud woman, attention
Wait, hold
grabbers.
on. Hold on, Lowe's. You know, aren't you Puerto Rican, brother? Like, you know, let's state
I
facts.
almost choked.
Aren't you Puerto Rican, brother?
Lowe's what Jen said. That's good. He knows what. Lo, stop calling me out. I know why you. I know why you're
Oh my
writing that.
goodness.
Um.
Aren't you Puerto Rican, Carlos?
Well, I think.
Loud women to what degree?
Well, I maybe
To
he's
what
saying
degree?
like obnoxious.
Yeah, I can see that.
I could see being maybe
I can see that.
obnoxious. I mean, people have different
Sometimes people don't
personalities.
know they're loud. I didn't
That's true.
I didn't know. Okay, there's now I know when I'm loud or not, right? But when I moved to Florida,
Uh huh.
people looked at me like I was. They were like, "Why are you talking so loud?" that's that's how I knew, and
Really?
I toned that way down.
Really?
When I moved to Florida, that's when I realized, and then I started to think, does everybody in Chicago talk loud?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I know that was one thing that I would always like with me and my ex husband when we would go
Mhm.
to restaurants. He'd be like, "You're loud." I'm like, "I'm loud. I'm just talking. Like I don't even. This is my normal volume, you know."
Like,
But
Tony
he,
got to volume two.
but he was very he was
Aware,
conservative.
self-aware.
He was just really conservative, like
Okay.
really reserved. That's the
Okay.
right word.
Okay.
So when we were out in public, I'm being myself, like just talking, and he was like, "You're loud," like
So
oh,
I've done that before. Is that a no to do? Because I've been with people who are super loud, and especially if the conversation is more
Look, if I'm with someone and they're louder than me, then we have a problem.
I have a microphone.
you, you know what's interesting though? You just need to know when to tone it down when it's
Okay.
appropriate.
Right.
Because I could be loud at
Okay.
times, but it's around certain
I
groups,
got you. I got you.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
I think because even like right now as an instructor at the media school,
How's
even
that going?
it's going great. It's
You love it?
awesome. I love the students, right? But I know that I can't turn up, right? I
Right.
can't show that personality or
Right.
that side. Even someone that knows me a little bit more personally there, a co-instructor was like, "Why, Jennifer, why aren't you like showing your real personality?"
Well, I mean, it's the setting that you're in. You have to be
I was like, I
professional.
can't do it. Like I
Right.
can't, I
Right.
gotta
So
be
what do we have?
professional. We have right here, Maria. She said, "Where were the Cubans in Florida? Where were the Cubans in Florida?" Wow, that was some dyslexic stuff right there. I couldn't even read for a second. And then she said, "We Cubans are
Loud.
loud,
Yeah. And so, but yeah, that was, yeah, going back to like red flags.
very loud women," was
Okay,
one.
one.
And then someone that talks
She,
badly about their previous partners.
the kids,
They're,
not
oh, you kids, but
the partner. Somebody always got something to say about their partner.
Angel said partners though, right?
Somebody always
She
got something to
said
say bad about it. That's why the whole
they
breakup
speak poorly
happened, right?
about their past partners. You know, one thing,
Is there a degree though? Like,
I think for me, like, I don't publicly put my ex out there like that.
yeah,
I
no,
don't think I ever, like, unless like you personally know me, maybe you'll know more details, but I don't publicly like try to put them on blast
right.
like that. I think that just makes you look bad.
Right, right. Yeah, I don't either. I've never put a Facebook post or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
like
I don't do the drama. I
I
don't like drama.
no,
Do not like
I don't
drama.
like putting my business out there like
Yeah,
that either. So we have Maria. She wrote, "Loud at home, not
in
in
public.
public."
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
good.
Just
That's good.
just know when and where to do it.
Right.
That's really what it
Pretty
is,
much.
right? So I wanted to share this because we're going to be on this topic about flags, and I thought I saw this video,
Okay.
and I thought, and I told you about it
Yeah,
before we
yeah,
went
yeah,
online. And I
yeah.
was like, this is a great like conversation for women and men. Mentioned here
Mhm.
this too.
Yes.
The therapist, she is a therapist. She said women that were not raised with fathers and then get married feel like when their husband's telling them something or trying to protect them or putting some boundaries on
Right.
them, they feel like they're being controlled.
The women feel controlled.
The women feel, versus a woman who's
Mhm.
had a father figure or a father or some sort of masculine energy to protect her,
Mhm.
then she would understand
Right.
why that man is telling her, right? Like,
Mhm.
because I think that's one of the things, it's like understanding, maybe being a little bit more understanding with
Yes.
one another, right?
Yes. Yes.
Like understand that. And I wanted to bring this up just because I thought, like, is it a red flag? Because some women might say like a controlling spouse, that's a red flag, right? But
To what degree?
what's
What's
considered
that's a great
control, right?
question. I think if a man can lead, if a man can lead, I feel like okay, I'm gonna bow down like a horse. I was just at I'm gonna bow down, but lead not. And when I say bow down, I mean it in with full respect, meaning I'm gonna let him take the lead and I'm gonna follow.
And so that's one of my red flags, someone that can't lead.
Yes, I don't want to feel like your mom.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you, I do not want to feel like your mom, like I have to tell you, or your irresponsibility. I think I shared this in the past. A gentleman I dated one time, he would use my car from time to time, and he would just rack up tickets like it was his in my car and not tell me. That
Oh
was,
yeah.
and then I'd get stuff in the mail, and I'm like, hold up, this brother got tickets.
You getting the bills, like
My God.
you owe a
I'm
hundred
like, we
dollars for
are,
this red light
I'm
ticket.
like, wait, and so that is a huge red flag.
Oh
And the thing is not to take ownership or responsibility for those things. That
yeah.
right there just
Well, and
blows
yeah,
my mind.
that's bad money management,
My God.
or
Yeah.
carelessness,
With
right?
my name.
With your stuff,
Yeah.
recklessness. Like, go
Yeah.
put that on your own stuff, dude. But
That.
even then, if they manage their money that poorly, and you're gonna marry this person or be
Yes.
with this
Yeah.
person,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's something that you're gonna be dealing with throughout the relationship.
I want a man to be able to handle that aspect.
Yeah,
So
that
even if he has to um, like take the lead and take care of those things. Like, okay, if we share an account, okay. If we're both working and it goes into the same account, okay, you can take care of what you need to take care of, like the bills and stuff like that from
Yeah.
the joint account.
Well, yeah, I could. That makes sense. Like I've read, who was it that was saying like they have one account
Hmm.
set up for all the bills.
Yeah.
That is account money that
Yeah.
they have set amount that goes in there and only goes for bills, and
Yes.
that's it. And then they have their other accounts, right?
Hmm.
The spouse, the man has one, and the woman has
Hmm.
one, or whoever,
Yeah.
depending on the type of relationship
And
y'all have.
right, what they agree to.
Yeah.
What are some of our comments?
So then going back to that point, right? Like I know that some women might consider like someone like a man that's too controlling as like a red flag. When is that fine line,
Oh, that's a good
right?
point.
Because men are meant, right? Let's think
Yeah.
non. I'm a feminist to a certain extent, all right? In the sense of I believe in equal rights,
Yeah.
I believe in equal pay, right? I believe like that's what to me feminism means, right?
Yeah.
It's being for a woman and for her to be successful, blah blah blah, right? But traditionally, I know not a lot of people would like
I'm
that.
traditional all the way. Let's go.
Yeah, so traditionally, right, like the gender roles,
Hmm.
right? So if we're thinking about gender roles and tradition, right,
Hmm.
typically men are the ones that protect and
You provide.
provide, right? The woman is
Lead.
the caretaker
Yeah.
and at home. So then a woman that was raised without a father figure,
Hmm.
she might see a man trying to tell her, "Hey, don't act like that," or maybe don't. Maybe have you. Maybe they might put little boundaries, like let's say, like she's out too late and he's calling in on checking on
Right.
her, like where you at,
I think
what
that's
you doing.
beautiful. Like
That
not what you're doing, like, hey, are you okay? More if it's from an aspect of more of concern,
yeah.
like I don't see that as a problem at all.
But
I'm
if
more on the
but if you were out and you
Mhm.
were like, let's say you were out with your friends or
Yeah.
whatever, you were staying out late, and your husband or future husband calls you and is like, "Hey man, you're out. It's late. You should be coming home." How would you take that?
I would respect him because he's concerned if it is too late, like I think we would have that conversation before. I would say, okay, I'm on my way, you know, and it depends on the approach. If he's not talking to me disrespectfully, if it's with respect, like, hey, I want to make sure you make it home safe. I'm staying up for you. I think that's beautiful, especially if it's from a place of concern.
Yeah.
And so I don't mind the traditional roles. I'm not for, it's okay to be an independent woman, which I am, but it, I don't mind the traditional roles of what a woman is, and I think I'm not with the feminism movement. Beautiful for some people, right? But I'm not with that all the way, to be honest with
Or it's
you.
just you might feel like it's not for you
Yeah, not really. No.
because there are women that are comfortable with wearing the
Yeah,
pants
go for it. That's
and
good for
running the
you.
show.
Yeah, no, good for you. That good for you to people who are, but we got to start wrapping this up. Come to Cafe El Mesón, support this business. And I want to can I just sidebar something really
Go
quick?
for it.
I just want to say thank you to all the people who responded with their generosity, with donating like purses to replace the purse that was stolen. We're not keeping those purses at the store, just so you
So
know.
for those that are watching, what happened? Because there might be people
Okay.
that are watching that are not aware.
So on Friday, Good Friday, at about 3:40 in the morning, my store got broken into. This was my first time ever experiencing something like that. It was honestly, it felt like a violation.
Of course, yeah.
They busted through the window. They destroyed my register. They stole a Coach purse that I was raffling off to help. I wanted our volunteers to really have a good experience for the prom dress giveaway. So I was
Yeah.
raising money for that.
Oh.
For the prom dress giveaway, they stole the purse. They stole the laptop. That was, I think I paid close to 1,500 for that laptop. And they stole a Ring camera that was supposed to be installed. So, sometimes I have to lock up the door. So I was going to put that up, a brand new one. They sold some other things too, but those were the gist. But the response I got, I just put a post just saying, hey, I pray that you have an encounter with God. In other words, this gentleman who did it. And And the Rock Exchange is a resale shop for the community, and so, but the overwhelming responses from brothers and sisters in Christ, thank you. I just want to say thank you for that, and yeah,
And for those that are
and for
watching, if
people
you
who've prayed
still,
for me.
so I mean, I told her right off the bat, like, okay, at the end of the day, it's a resale shop
Yeah.
and you do nonprofit work.
Yes.
So I was like,
And
why
we don't
not?
carry high end stuff in my store typically. I just did this one time. I went that
Yeah.
Facebook Live to share with people what I'm raffling off. My store is not a high end resale shop. We don't carry Louis. We really don't. But
Once in a while, you give me some micro core stuff. But I was just
yeah,
saying,
you
like,
know. But I'm saying, but it's not typically
typically,
traditionally.
yeah,
It's not for this reason. And I was just so shocked that someone would break in
yeah.
to the store. So it was disheartening. But I just have to say thank you for the people who've responded. And yeah, thank you.
If anyone wants to, how about donate or make like an offering, or or just make a donation towards, because it was about $3,000 worth of damages that happened
And
in
then
the
some
school
for the window.
in the
Yeah,
store. So
in store they what they took.
I mean, for sure, if anyone wants to support and make a donation and just help out, because at the end of the day, one thing that I wanted her to mention, because I know it's hard for her to always ask for money, but I
Yeah,
told her,
it's
like,
try not to.
you
Yeah,
have a safe space
yeah,
for young girls.
yeah,
You work with young girls. This
yeah,
is a place where a lot of women come and get ministered to, and they get clothing and confidence and all that stuff. I mean, you're doing a prom dress giveaway.
yeah.
So, I mean, this
Sunday.
is a safe space for women and young girls, and then this happened to you. So if anyone wants to make like a donation or support or just send some money, just because, sometimes when things like this happen, it's devastating to a small business owner. It
Yeah,
really
it
is.
is. It is.
It is.
It
And
is.
it's a small business, right?
Yeah.
It's not a corporate company where, like,
Right.
right, there's stocks and all that stuff, right? So I put the
Oh,
email
thank you.
address, the rock exchange one at gmail.com.
Thank
You
you.
guys
Yeah.
can sell her a gift if you guys want to support her during this time while she's trying to just pick up, because it also, something like this, when it happens, it kind of slows you down a little bit, right? Because now you have to take a pause. You not only do you have to emotionally pick yourself up,
Yeah.
you have to also physically pick everything up, and
Yeah.
that takes time in
Yeah.
itself,
Yeah.
right? So definitely support her. Send, if
Thank
you
you.
guys are willing and open to it, not obviously not obligated, but there is her email address if you guys want to make a
Thank you.
donation.
Thank you.
And
And if you have any prom dresses you want to donate, last year we partnered up, and this year we're partnering up again with a beautiful project. And we gave away 80 prom dresses and shoes, jewelry. So feel free. People have been dropping off prom dresses. Thank you. Um, and it's going to be on Sunday from 2 to 7. Or if you have a daughter in need, bring them out for a graduation dress, homecoming, or prom. We're going to be there from 2 to 6.
yes, yes, make
Yeah,
sure
and
you
we're
guys
gonna have some
support,
snacks out there for
support,
the girls.
support. Come out, and I think I have that
And
here.
we're gonna have a throne chair there. Again this year we have Suli is gonna come out and do eyebrow threading.
Oh, very nice, very
So we're
nice.
gonna have free eyebrow threading for mom and daughters
Oh,
on
that's really
Sunday.
nice.
So come on through. It's gonna be a great. And thank you for
Yes.
supporting me. And thank you for those who've already given their gifts and things like that. God bless you guys. I pray that God blesses y'all a hundredfold.
Yeah, so make sure you guys support her events then. And then, of course, I want to make sure that I share two things before I wrap
Mhm.
up, right? The coaching program,
Yeah, Sunday.
it's coming up. Here's a flyer that I have for it Sunday as well. Sunday night, it's
Hmm.
virtually, guys. So,
At
right,
what time?
it starts at 8 p.m. and it
Okay.
runs for 12
Oh,
weeks.
nice.
So basically, you learn how to set goals, be
Okay.
held accountable. You rewrite your mental story,
Oh, nice.
right?
Okay.
That we work on that, bringing yourself to more empowered mindset. You manage your relationships, learn how to build thriving networks and support systems, reducing your stress, your self-care, finding balance, and learn how to be control of your time, which a lot of people don't really know how to control their time.
Mhm.
And that's one of the things that I think I've been able to master, is because people ask me all the time, I don't know how you do it, Jennifer. I'm
We don't
just
know how we do it. No, like,
like, I know how I do it. I'm just very
God, yeah.
habitual, very
Yeah, and
structured,
that's, yeah.
very disciplined, right? Like, yeah, you won't catch me watching TV.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
never
I
watch
rarely,
anything.
I rarely
Because
watch.
I got so
Rare.
much on my plate and
Me
I
too.
know what I have to get done and where I have to be. Like that's
Right.
very uncommon. So
Right.
I teach women this system. So that's the program that I'm launching. It's starting this Sunday night at 8 p.m.
Awesome.
We meet up twice a week for 12 weeks.
Hmm.
Right off the bat, I say, give me 3 personal, 3 professional goals that you want to work on the next three
And then you
months.
target those
And we
things.
target on those things
Very good.
in addition to working on your conflict, boundaries, your
Beautiful.
mindset, right? We work on all these things. And I've been running this program since 2018.
Good stuff. See,
And I've
look at that.
and I've graduated 60 women from the
Look at that.
program.
That's something to
You know,
applaud.
yeah, so
Yes.
I mean it's been wonderful to watch the
Yeah.
transformation of women and work with women. So I
Yes.
want to make sure I share that, and then I do have a time management workshop on Saturday morning at
Okay.
the Eco Shop. So
Okay.
anyone wants to come out learn
Another
about time
small
management,
business,
just
Jeanette.
another Jeanette.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeanette, she has a
She
small
got great
business.
stuff at her store.
She
The
does
soap
the
is amazing there.
the lotions,
Oh
all
yeah,
natural
everything. Yeah,
products,
another small business.
non-chemical.
Just to support your small businesses.
Please,
Um,
please.
and yeah,
So you guys, thank you so
thank
much.
you.
Everyone that was watching, I hope that this was
Yes.
entertaining. I know this was a little bit different than last time. But either way, you know what? We're gonna do this. We're always gonna be live on Mondays.
Yes.
Either we're gonna be interviewing, conversating,
Something.
we'll be at a business, so
Something's gonna be happening.
something will be happening. So thank you so much, guys, for
Definitely.
watching. God
God
bless
bless you
you.
guys.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.